All right, for our next topic, we're going to be covering more angle relationships in circles. So the first one is going to be if a tangent and a secant, or a chord, intersect on a circle at the point of tangency, then the measure of the angle formed is half the measure of the intersected arc. Okay, so here's an angle. This angle is going to be half the measure of the arc. So the arc that's in between the angles, so this part right here. You take that arc and cut it in half, and that'll give you the measure of the angle. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. We take a look at this arc here. It's 216 degrees. They're asking us for this angle measure, so we have to take half of 216. That is going to give us 108 degrees. Okay. This time they give us the angle measure. It's 64 and they want us to find the arc, so that means that we're going to have to multiply that by 2. So 64 times 2 would be 128 degrees. Okay, next here, they are asking us, well, they give us this arc measure, which is 101, and they're asking us for BCA. They're asking us for this side of the arc, which is the opposite side. Okay, so there's several ways we can do this. I'm still going to keep it consistent. Let's go ahead and find this side first, okay? Because this is in between the angle, we double the 101, and that gives us 202. So 101 times 2 gives us 202. And then, since we're looking for the opposite side, we're looking for this side, I'm going to have to do 360 minus 202. And that is going to give us 158, I believe. Let me just double check with my calculator, because I am not the best with mental math. Yes, we're good, 158. Okay, now, if two secants or chords intersect in the interior of the circle, then the measure of the angles formed is half the sum of the measures of the intersected arcs. So what does that mean? It sounds complicated, but you add these arcs together, these arcs, AD and CB, and then just cut it in half, and it'll give you this inside angle, which should be the same as that angle because they're vertical angles. Okay. So for example here, I go ahead and take 70 and 52, we add them together, 70 plus 52. Whatever we get from there, we get half of it, and that'll give me the measure of this interior angle. Okay. So 70 plus 52 gives me 122, and I divide that by 2. That gives me 61 degrees. So 61 degrees. So then here, they're asking us for J, M, L. We already answered it. We said it was 61 degrees. Okay, just be careful because they might ask you for this angle right here. So make sure you read out the angle before inputting an answer. Okay, this next one here, they give us this is 107 and this is 99. So we can find this angle in here by taking 107, adding 99, and whatever we get from there, we take half of it. So 107 plus 99 gives me 206. And if we take half of 206, that gives me 103. So that means this angle in here is 103 degrees. And they are asking us for STR. So STR is 103 degrees. Okay, remember both sides are 103 because they're vertical angles or kissing angles, so they're the same. Okay. Now they want us to find the value of x. So then now they're making it a little more tricky. We add these two angles together. So x plus 35, we cut it in half. And that is going to give us this inside angle right here. But we don't know what that inside angle is, but we can find it because they give us this side is 129. And as you notice, they make a straight angle. I'm going to do 180 minus 129 because a straight angle measures 180 degrees. That gives me 151. Wait, not 151, just 51. So that means this angle is 51. Okay, so that means that this is equal to 51. We're solving for x. So this 1/2, I'm going to cancel it out by multiplying by the reciprocal, which is times 2 over 1. Okay, The 2's cancel, the 1's cancel, we get x plus 35 equals 51 times 2 gives me 102. Then we subtract the 35. 102 minus 35, and that gives me 67. So find the value of x, it is 67 degrees. Okay, the next one. So, if 2 segments intersect the exterior, in the exterior of a circle, then the measure of the angle formed is half the difference in the measure of its intercepted arcs. Okay, so pretty much, you're gonna take the bigger half of the arc, and you're gonna subtract the smaller half of the arc, and that is going to give you that outside angle after you take half of that. Okay, so just like this one, you're gonna take the bigger side of the arc, so this part, you subtract the other side, which is this part, and then you take half of that, and that'll give you the exterior angle. Okay, the same with this one, this exterior angle here is equal to, you take the bigger part that's in between the 2 lines, that's what you're taking, the arc that's in between both lines. You take that arc and you subtract it with this arc. After you subtract them, you take half of it, and that will give you the measure of the exterior angle. Okay, so if we see here, the bigger arc is 140, so we take 140 and we subtract the smaller arc. The smaller arc is in here, it is 74. We take half of that, and that's going to give us the exterior angle once we subtract them. So 140 minus 74, that gives us 66. And half of 66 is equal to 33 degrees. Okay. The next one. So they want us to find the measure of angle 1. So measure of angle 1 is equal to, we have to take 1/2. Then we go ahead and take the bigger side, which is 119. And we subtract the smaller side. Now they don't give us the smaller side, we're going to have to find it. So all of these arcs together will make one full circle. Okay, we know one full circle is 360. So we subtract the 119 and the 174 from the 360. 174 minus 119, and that gives me 67. So that means that this one is 67. So now we're ready to complete this. We're going to take 1/2 of 119 minus 67. And that gives us 26 degrees. Okay. Now for the next one. So here they give us the outside angle. They give it to us. They tell us it's 24 is equal to 1/2. We take the bigger angle, which is 118. And we subtract the smaller one, which is x. And so this one we're working a little bit backwards. We gotta solve for x. So to get rid of this 1/2, we have to multiply by the reciprocal by 2/1. When we do the one side, we have to do the other side. So 2 times 24 gives me 48 equals, this all cancels out, so we get 118 minus x. We move over the 118. This cancels, 48 minus 118 gives me negative 70. Equals negative x, and then to solve, or to get rid of the negative, we divide both sides by -1, so we get x equals 70. Alright, the next one. So again, to find the exterior angle x, we're going to have to take 1/2 and subtract the angle. So we take the bigger part, which is 232, and we subtract the smaller part. Now the smaller part, we don't know what it is, so we're going to have to do 360 as a full circle, and we subtract the 232. So 360 minus 232, and that's 120. So then we do 232 minus 128, that gives us 104. We take half of that, and that gives me my exterior angle x is equal to 52 degrees. Alright. The next one, so we're looking for the exterior angle again, which is 1. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to, we're going to take 1/2. We're going to take the bigger side of the circle. We don't know what it is. We're actually going to have to find it. We do 360 minus 138. 360 minus 138 gives me 222. So we take 222 and subtract the smaller side, which is 138. So 222 minus 138 gives me 84, and I divide that by 2, and that gives me 42. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 42 degrees. All right, the next one, it says a value of x. So here, this exterior angle 61 is equal to 1/2. We're going to go ahead and subtract the arcs. So here we have 10x plus 1, and we are subtracting not only just the 5x, but the negative 1. So we're going to subtract the 5x, and when you subtract the negative 1, it turns into a positive. Okay, so just be careful there. We go ahead and solve, so we're going to combine our like terms. We have 1/2. 10 plus negative 5 gives me 5x. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. I'm going to get rid of the 1/2 by multiplying by the reciprocal on both sides. 2 times 61 is going to give me 122. This cancels, and we get 5x plus 2. We solve for x by subtracting the 2, and we get 120 equals 5x. We divide by 5, and this gives me 24. And then they're just asking us to find the value of x, so we don't have to solve for anything else. All right, we're down to the last 3 problems. So here they want us to find the value of x. Again, we're going to have to take the bigger part of the circle, which is 75. Subtract the smaller arc that's inside the lines, which is 29. We go ahead and take half of that, and that gives us our exterior angle x. So 75 minus 29 gives us 46, divided by 2 gives us 23. Okay, the next one, so here they give us the exterior angle is 35. This is equal to 1/2. We're going to go ahead and subtract the measure, starting with the bigger arc, which is 108. And we subtract the smaller part, which is x. So then from there, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this 2, or this 1/2 by multiplying by 2 over 1. What we did on one side, we got to do the other side. So 2 times 35 gives me 70. All of this cancels out. We get 108 minus x. I move the 108 to the other side by subtracting it. So 70 minus 108 gives me negative 38. Equals, this cancels, negative x. We divide both sides by negative 1 to make it into a positive, and that gives us x equals 38 degrees. And the last one. So they give us the exterior angle, that's what they want us to find. Equals, we have to take 1/2 and subtract our arcs. The one that's bigger goes first, so the 111. And then we subtract the inside part, which is the littler one, the little arc that's in between the lines. Now they don't tell us what it is, so we're going to take 360 as one full circle. We do know everything else. We subtract the 104, the 111. Oh, sorry, I made too many ones. Minus the 104. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my calculator. 360 minus 104 minus another 104 minus a 111. That gives me 41. So that means that one is 41. I'm going to go ahead and put all of that in my calculator. 1/2 minus, or times 111 minus 41. That gives me 35 degrees.